Welcome. Here we explore the science of learning and how it really works in the classroom and beyond. I'm your host, Marisa Bernard, and today we're going to dig into one of the most popular and controversial topics in education, learning styles. So grab your coffee and join me in the Literacy Lounge. You've probably heard people say, I'm a visual learner, or she's definitely a kinesthetic learner. But is that real, or is it just a well-meaning myth? Well, let's find out. The theory of learning styles suggests that individuals learn best when information is presented in their preferred modality, visual, auditory, or kinesthetic. I often catch myself saying I'm a visual learner because I love the aesthetics of certain things. A flower garden, an interior home design, a beautiful countryside, for example. This idea took hold in the 90s, especially with models like Gardner's multiple intelligences. It's appealing because it seems to honor students' individuality and explains why some people struggle with certain types of information. But the big question is, does teaching to someone's preferred learning style actually improve learning outcomes? Don't get me wrong, people do have preferences. Some love diagrams, others remember lectures better, some thrive with hands-on activities, and those preferences can feel really strong. But here's what research shows. Just because someone prefers a certain mode doesn't mean they learn best in that mode. One study by Paschler and others examined this exact question. They looked at whether matching instructional styles to a student's preferred learning style improved learning. After reviewing multiple studies, their conclusion was clear. There's no strong evidence to support learning style-based instruction. Even when people say they're visual learners, that doesn't necessarily mean they'll learn everything better through visuals. A student may benefit from diagrams in science, but in language learning, they might thrive through repetition and spoken practice. In short, preferences aren't consistent across domains. The brain is a multisensory machine. When we learn, we engage the visual areas, auditory areas, motor function, language centers, and working memory all at once. Here's an example. If you're learning to ride a bike, you don't just watch someone do it. You try it, feel it, adjust your balance, hear feedback, and build muscle memory. That's multisensory. Even reading is multisensory. You're decoding symbols, which is visual. You're possibly reading aloud, which is auditory, and sometimes even tracing letters, which is kinesthetic, especially when learning to read. The truth is, the brain isn't compartmentalized the way learning style theory suggests. Effective learning is integrative. It pulls from the multiple parts of the brain at once. So what's the takeaway? If teaching to a style doesn't help, what should we do instead? The answer lies in multimodal instruction, using more than one mode to teach a concept. This benefits all learners because it strengthens connections across the brain. For example, use visuals like charts or diagrams to complement spoken instruction, add movements or gestures during vocabulary learning, have students explain ideas aloud and write them down. Multimodal teaching isn't about tailoring to one style, it's about enriching the learning experience. Students learn best when they engage with the material in multiple ways, not just the one they prefer. It's a seductive idea, right? The belief that if we just discover our type, learning will get easier. But in reality, labeling students as auditory or visual can actually limit their growth. They might avoid strategies that could stretch and strengthen their brain. Plus, the theory feels personal. It acknowledges that everyone is different, and that part is true. Students have different strengths, needs, and backgrounds, but rather than boxing them into a style, let's empower them with a toolkit of strategies that they can apply flexibly across the learning tasks. That's real differentiation. So here's the bottom line. Yes, people have preferences. No, those preferences aren't always the best way to learn. The brain is wired for multisensory learning, and the most effective teaching strategies draw on multiple modalities, not just one. Let's move past the myth of learning styles and embrace the real science of how we learn. Thanks for tuning in to the Literacy Lounge. If you found this episode helpful, share it with a fellow educator and parent, and don't forget to subscribe for more real talk on literacy, learning, and the brain. Until next time, keep reading, keep growing, and keep believing that every child can become a joyful, capable reader. Thanks for being here. Bye for now.